All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Bison, aka Bison Trades, over on Twitter. Welcome back to another wonderful episode of RareFUD Radio. Episode number 48. We are closing in on 50. I appreciate all of you guys supporting the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that little bell notification when we do go live. It is every Tuesday, Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as always. And we do upload the episode to Apple Podcasts, Spotify shortly after the episode. Make sure you are looking over on YouTube. We do make a bunch of shorts just breaking down some of the highlights of the show. You really can't miss our content. We're everywhere right now. Today's episode is just a solo dolo show. We're going to be talking with good old Dorian, good old Joe about what's going on in the market right now, what's going on with Sol pumping after the FOMC meeting and announcement yesterday. J Powell getting a little dovish over there, which is good for the coin. Let's talk about if it's good for NFTs. Join with me today, my wonderful co-host, my brother in arms, Dorian. Dorian, how we doing today, my man?
Yo, what's going on, Bison? Back for another one, dog. Every day is a holiday, and I'm happy to get into it. Your boy's over here printing in a bear market, thanks to Monkey DAO, giving me whitelist to all the top projects, immediately selling for like 2-3x. So I'm doing great, dude.
That's good. Good to hear, Dor. I love to hear it. I'm printing right now too. You want to know what I'm printing? Actually, I'll
What you
get into
printing,
it in
dog?
the show. I'll get into it in the show because some of this stuff, man, is actually working out. Some of these NFTs, I'll get into it in a little bit. We do have an alpha corner at the end of the show. Make sure you are staying to the end of the show. That's when we get to talk about the good stuff. But join with us as always is our other wonderful co-host, JoeSol. Joe, how we doing today?
We're doing great, guys. Excited to get in this little alpha corner and talk about the market, man. Excited.
Yeah. Yeah. We do have some good stuff to talk about. Of course, talk about some market headlines, talk about the market overview. Speaking of market overview, Sol is pumping. Oh my goodness. Yesterday was a wild ride. I had to literally like clear my eyes because I was looking at a 5-minute chart and it looked like it should be a daily. Like the amount of volatility we had yesterday was insane. It was insatiable, man. I'm not sitting there NFTs, what? I was having so much fun trading the coin, man. Like it was so good across the market. There were some real winners, losers. Solana obviously ran up like 10% yesterday from its lows. You love to see it. We had some other coins like Optimism absolutely slap, dude. Oh my goodness. This thing melted faces. And it's what we've been saying for a while. Target some of these low float, high VC interest coins with unlocks coming up because they're going to pump their bags. If you don't think they have a vested interest in dumping on people, on dumping on retail, then you haven't been paying attention. But let's get into the NFT market. We are looking at about 160,000 Solana volume. It's all right. It's all right. Whatever. It's very meh for the day. If we're above like 150, I would say on TXO terms, 200 is really what I'd like to break. 300. If we go over 300, we're back in bull, baby. But this is, if you adjust it to the price of Solana now compared to our lows, like our $8, $10 range, still looks good on a dollar value. But we'll talk a little bit about philosophy, how I'm changing my philosophy coming up. But guys, what do we think about the market right now? Let's kick it over to Door, and then we'll go over to Joe.
Yeah, your boy doesn't do too much like coin trading. Just I'm focused on trying to launch, working with Cyber Samurai on a whole bunch of stuff, working on my own personal stuff, shorts for the channel. So it's like I have to allocate my time appropriately. So your boy doesn't do much trading, but I know you, Joe, and Shake, and the rest of the dojo have been absolutely printing, man. Like you guys are monsters. Shake gave a shout out to I've been talking to Shake how awesome Joe is at trading. Like Joe's probably the best trader I know, hands down. And I know a lot of good traders. And for Shake to be like Joe's top tier, it's like it even validates and gives Joe more credibility. So to be able to be on a show with somebody who's excels in his craft as much as he does is very humbling, and I'm pretty happy to do it, man. So huge shout out to Joe. But I haven't been doing much on the coin trading side. Just been keeping an eye on NFTs, trying to wait till volatility calms down to see which ones I want to pick up or further get into. I still got my loans out on Clanosaurus, seeing what's going to happen with that. But overall, the market on the NFT side, man, nothing too crazy. Just, wait until things settle down on the coin side.
Absolutely. I think we are entering. I'm so glad Shake posted. We brought up Shake. If you guys don't follow his temple of tokens, go ahead and do so. I will try to link that, but I think it's in his Twitter bio. So at OX_shake, go to his Twitter profile. Make sure you are signed in and getting those announcements from his Telegram channel, which basically goes through all of his calls and why he's making them. He actually echoed my exact sentiment. I think there's a lot of uncertainty in the market until we break this $26 like stubborn. I'm talking break and close above $26, get back into that 6-month range we've been talking about. And then from there, I think there's enough optimism in the market that we would be able to see both SOL go up and NFTs start catching up. I don't think they'll like catch up from their highs in terms of Solana, but I think they'll start catching up because a lot of them are down bad. A lot of them are still 50% plus down from their all-time highs on SOL. So let's kick it over to the man, the myth, the legend himself, JoeSol, who just completed his $100, and yes, you heard that right, $100 to $10,000 challenge. Joe, how long did that take you, first off?
So first off, Dora, thank you for those kind words, man. I really appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot to me, man. And yeah, it took about 3 weeks, Bison, and I'd like to shake, man. I just got lucky. I got truly lucky. I entered the market, dude, when we just took off 100% moves on all these altcoins, and I got lucky, right? I mean, I have, good work ethic and I know how to look for setups and stuff, but 100 to 10 does not happen, and I got lucky with the initial bump to 1K, and from there it was a little bit easier to swing. But
sorry, Joe. It's like Joe's trying to be humble. Screw that. I'm that skill. Like, you need skill, dog. While yes, you do need a little bit of luck to go from 100 to 10K. That's skill, dog. I don't care what you say.
100x'd in literally 3 weeks. Are you kidding me, dude?
You know what was fun is be able to be in the dojo with a lot of the trades and have like screen sharing and kind of just being transparent through it all, seeing my small losses, clipping $2, $5, $6 losses a bunch before I hit that, the big punch, and just being transparent and letting people know, like, it's not easy. It's very much 16 hours of the day. You're not talking to your loved ones. You're not talking to your girl. Like, it's a lot of stress and anxiety, and scalping isn't for the weak of heart, but man, it was some fun. And to do it in the dojo with all the homies made it that much better.
I completely agree. It is fun. If you guys don't know Cyber Samurai, please get one. I think everybody should own one Cyber Samurai. I've said this for a while, mainly because you do get access to our Twitter group chat. Again, I think because it's segmented, we do have 4 different chats right now because thank you, Twitter, for rugging us. We only can cap it at 75 per. There are some with like original members, so we can't get everybody in there, but that's like our main method of communicating to a lot of people. And then we've been cooking in VC lately, absolutely slamming stuff. So please join, please get involved with the dojo. I promise, whatever cost Cyber Samurai is, you will make that money back. Not financial advice. I should probably lead with that, not financial advice, but the amount of alpha you get in that voice channel is unrivaled. Kudos to you, Joe. I want to know when 10K to 1 million challenge. That's the real question.
That is the real question, and hopefully we'll get there soon. I did start a 1K to 10K for the fellas. We're up 20% on that. Just more of a like, let me prove this to myself. That wasn't a fluke. Let's back test it. Let's go 1K to 10K, a little bit easier. So that's what we're on now, and then maybe we'll go 10K to 1 million.
Why don't we do 10K to 100K? That would be cool too. I mean, like, if you want to do 10x steps, that's fine as well.
That's what I'm thinking too after this. Solidify another 1K to 10K, 100K. 100 to 10K, 1K to 10K, then cool, 10K to 100K. Just to make sure that back up.
Hit that shit, dog.
I appreciate and I've been running the 4-hour, 24-minute setup, which is like this back testing strategy I've been using. So it's kind of cool to be like, all right, I'm going to try this one more time, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, super stoked. Thank you guys. Love you guys.
Yeah, dude, it's been fun to watch. Joe's been spot on. Again, we have Joe locked in on a lifetime contract to RareFUD Radio. You can only get his premier alpha if you tune into the show Tuesday, Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But Joe, how are we feeling about the market right now? I mean, we got really good sentiment from the FOMC meetings, talking about, we're basically changing stance from hawkish. It was pretty much hawkish over the past, I would say since August, July even. And now it sounds a lot more dovish, right? Like we're job market's really healthy. I think we've tapered inflation a good amount. And so it should be much more projectable. And so a lot of people are like, oh, it's risk on time, baby. Dixie is absolutely, crapping itself. So a lot of people are seeing that the risk on approach is actually the right way to go. Do you feel the same way? Are we kind of feeling the same way about the market?
Yeah, I definitely am starting to swing that way. For me, crypto wise, Big Daddy Bitcoin, I just don't feel safe like longing a swing trade where I walk away for a couple weeks or whatever, unless we're above 25.5 solidified up there. I feel like we need that because we can still go up, tap, create basically a double top from our last swing high before the swing low and roll back down to the CME gap that's, 21.5, 24, 19.6.
Yeah.
That's plausible to me. Unless I can see a significant break above 25 and we're living up there, then I think we can see some altcoins really take off. BT trades crab market up there above 25.5, alts take off again, and then we figure out if we want to keep going higher or not. So that's where my mindset right now is for weekly swings.
I'm right there with you, Joe. And just to give listeners, digestible key levels to look at right now, 25.5 is a good mark for me. Break and hold that level, not just break it, because we've been doing that a ton on Solana, which we'll get into in a second. Break and hold above 25.5. I want to see Solana break and hold above 26, and really push up even a little bit more past that. I'd say even 26.5, because we have like double taps on resistance over the past week or so. And so I would love to see a break above that. So your key levels, 25.5 on Bitcoin, 26.5 on Solana. And I think from there, we just kind of rip. Ethereum's kind of the same way. Right now, I'm actually, if we can, I think Ethereum has a little bit more to go as far as like a lot more resistance. So I see a lot more strength in some of these altcoins, in Bitcoin itself, and in Solana. So I'm not really looking at Ethereum right now. I will eventually look into it because we've been talking about Iron Paw Gang for a while. I do want an ETH bag so I can mint, so I can make those plays over with Adam 8. Big fan of his work, as we talked about on the show. If you missed that episode, he is one of our first interviews. He was phenomenal, and I think everybody is sleeping on that. But let's talk about some market talk. Let's get into some NFTs. I know that's why most people come in here. Still not really buying. The one thing I bought over the past 2 weeks or so are a Chad Society by J Shep. I did just buy a Critter Cult because I saw one on the floor that was like really good looking, and it was like 5 SOL. And I was like, some of the best pixel art still out there. I do have a bid out on another 101. But one of the things I've been buying a ton of lately is Nokiamon on Exchange Art. If you guys have not been paying attention, some of these things are absolutely printing, dude. All of them go for about 0.43 SOL, 0.45 with Exchange Art's fee. For instance, this Bascom that I minted, I think I have like 3 or 4 of them. Right now, currently, the floor is 8.99 SOL. You are now looking at a 20x on your investment. If you guys are not paying attention to Nokiamon in terms of just fun collectibles, I think there's going to be backpack integration. Who knows what they could do with this? And I think it's really cool IP that a lot of people are. This is like trading cards. This is actually what I've looked for. They're open editions. They usually last about 24 hours. And then from there, it closes off. They're not going to release them again. So whatever the supply is, that's it for those things. And I think a lot of people are still early on these. There was only 118 editions sold on this Bascom one. And so there's a lot of alpha to be had there. I've been having fun trading these things. Like I said, this is just an example of 20x. Some of these things have gone 200x. So please, it is such a cheap entry. Not financial advice, but I don't think there's better RR out there in terms of NFTs right now. There isn't. I know that for a fact. So please, like the biggest alpha I can give you on the NFT side is be checking out Exchange Art. There is a 101 piece. I'm not even going to say it because I don't want anybody. If I get it at this price, I'm going to literally lose my mind. There's no shot I should be able to, but we'll see what happens.
I think I know which one you're talking about because I was looking at it too. But if it is the same one, I'm not going to touch it now.
The classic saga. Let me tell you guys something real quick. I've witnessed the first time ever about 6-7 months ago when Dorian and Bison went for an auction piece together at the same time. And ever since then, when they've just had a dichotomy they don't want to talk about here. And we're seeing it in live action.
I always get front run by you guys. So I'm not going to mention it on stream. I will bring it up next stream if I do end up winning it.
Okay, yes, I'm not going to
Um,
touch it, Bison. I just confirmed.
yep,
I won't touch it. I promise. So saw it too. I'm like,
yep,
really?
yes. Moral of the story is I think there's alpha on exchange art that a lot of people aren't looking at right now. Another big thing too, and we talked about bonks on Tuesday. I saw something from DGen Poet talking about how he wishes the one-on-ones. The one-on-ones are so good. They're so good on bonks. And he wishes that they were just actually just a collaborative series on exchange art of just the one-on-ones, because the base model doesn't do it justice. They're still kind of fun, whatever he said, but I think artists kind of got shafted. And I actually kind of agree with that. Not fully, because we talked about Nun Halley. I want to say that's how you pronounce the name, how gained notoriety through the one-on-one submission and now is selling stuff for like 150 SOL. I don't want to say that, but I think these boutique one-on-one collections are still going to rip. You're still going to see it with, I bought into Chat Society. I still think that is one of the cheapest entries into a great sort of alpha group. He got a really good foundation of people already. And then through these auctions, they've been going for like 40 to 50 SOL. I still think that's cheap. I think they will hit 3 digits just because J Shep's connected. He's got the right people, and they do get a whitelist allocation for Wolf Capital. Yeah, there we go.
Pre-sale.
Yep. I can't give any details. He said for us not to because it's just in the
Whitelist,
chat.
pre-sale,
Um,
maybe, possibly. Don't know.
Definitely be looking out for those. I think a lot of these Lucid Drakes, Booze, Hotheads, all that good stuff. We're seeing a big one-on-one boutique meta. It is going to persist. I don't think it's a trend or anything like that. I think this is where you are really going to find your tribe for a lot of different people, and you're going to find some of the high net worth individuals in there. So
Even
out.
Big Brain just put out a tweet that he was thinking about putting out a site focused only on one-on-one collections, so people can network better against like Boogles, Fellas, Lucid Drakes. I don't know, that's somebody's name, but yeah. So I even, like you said, Bison, things are starting to move in that direction more. If you want to be involved in these communities, you're going to want to start looking on the one-on-one side, vice the generative side.
Yeah, and think of it this way too. Being in a project now, I now know how pre-sale ideas go. I wasn't involved in Heist pre-sale. If anybody's asking, I did not get to have any say into it, pretty much. But how it's easier to target some of these boutique collections versus a whole generative collection, because there's not enough allocation for everybody, and you're only going to get a handful of spots, and there's going to be a lot of upset people compared to a lot of happy people. So this is where I think you can actually find alpha enough that it'll pay back its investment over a course of time through whitelist, through pre-sale allocations. I would keep an eye on this space. Please do. First thing I want to talk about, actually, because they brought it up in chat and I forgot to put it into the show notes, but oh my goodness, dude. Have you guys seen Mad Lads backpacks collection? Oh my gosh, dude. This is it's their profile picture JPEG collection. Dude, this stuff looks so good. It looks like Peaky Blinders, right? But this is some of the best I can't wait to see the rest of the collection. It looks so good. I will pull it up for everybody who is watching. I've been following them for a while because I saw they got mentioned, but I didn't even realize they tweeted out. And this looks like some of the best human artwork I have seen to date. For everybody watching, you can come check this out. This is incredibly good. This is incredibly good. This is very well detailed. I think proportions look good. I think shading looks good. I think everything about this screams, I would PFP this. And I think that's exactly what you're going for when you're going for this type of art. I would PFP this in a heartbeat. I love my punk helm. This is it, dude. Mad Lads look so good. They are going to rip. This is, I want all involvement in the backpack ecosystem in general. This is it, though. This is that good stuff. What do we think about the art, boys?
Dude, yeah, it's pretty awesome. That's like kind of the best, not even kind of, that's the best human art I've seen. It's also slightly left facing because, if anything but left facing PFP, Solana's going to lose their mind. So it's good, man. It's really, really good. I'm hoping I get whitelist again through Monkey DAO. Got my fingers crossed, but we'll see.
Yeah, I want it.
This is fire, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, just the texture on the coat and like the tie. I mean, they're just very much, it's very clean and Yeah, I know the facial structure. It's just very, yeah, it's
Mhm.
good art, man. It's really good art, and I'm telling you, I mean, the cigarette and the smoke, and it's just like I don't know, it's definitely appealing to the eyes, and I think right as long as you have a backpack code and username, you're good to go. I think. I'm not
I
sure
need,
though, right?
dude. I need more involvement. I keep putting it off getting involved in backpack, and I need to. I just need to
Do you,
send it
do
because
you guys have codes yet?
No,
no, I don't have a code.
All
no.
right, I'm gonna get on that for you guys right now.
Oh, yo, Joe, you the man, dog.
Joe
Appreciate
hooks up
it.
always. Anyways, want to touch on that. If you guys aren't checking out the backpack ecosystem in general, what are you doing? I have even downloaded the extension and stuff. I don't have a code yet, but um, Joe's here to save the day as usual. So that is great. Thank you, Joe. And let's get into the rest of the show. So we do have a couple of things. One, we have ovals, and so I think I mentioned it last episode that they tease corruption, but you can now pledge your ovals to fight in kind of like you pledge your ovals. There's a chance of winning per. I think it's fun gamified mechanics. Nothing we really haven't seen before, but this also helps. I think anything you can do that's interactive with your NFT will help the demand for the NFT and it will lock up the supply a little more. Now it is soft staking, which we all love. I think oval staying in your wallet is always a good thing. Joe, can you walk us through a little bit more about this kind of battle? If you go to app.elixir.io, you can actually go to the corruption tab, and there is an essence war, is what it's called. And basically, there's going to be a few different events. The ambush at the river delta is this one. It ends in the next 2 days, basically a little under 2 days from now. So make sure you get your ovals in, and you can pledge either side. So there is a chance of winning on both sides. It looks like there is some nice prizes for it. Can you walk us through those, Joe?
Yeah, absolutely. So each section, each battle, we're gonna say they have airdrops and rewards coming for each OVO that is pledged. First off and foremost. Second, whoever wins that battle will get allocated said prizes, which are from legendary OVOs to certain tokens that are going to be involved in the ecosystem. Um, you know, rare OVOs, all these things, and then they get sent out randomly between the pledged OVOs. So it's like a rating mechanism. So you have percentage wise, right now it's 50-50, but the more people that pledge on one side, the higher it goes. The lower side will always have better rewards. So it's kind of averaging itself out. If more people are going to Corrupted and it's like 55% chance they will win, the city of Elixir will have much better rewards. So they're kind of averaging that out as well. So it's just another gamified staking mechanism with airdrops. But you have to be pledged, and it's soft staking, right? So it stays in your wallet as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is the kind of fun stuff that, it's inching into where we want to go with this. And so they're just trying out different mechanics. Obviously, Elixir is an AMM. At the end of the day, that is what they are, but they're going to work towards of fragmentation
Mhm.
of NFTs. Oh my goodness, I don't know why I could not say that word, but fragmentation of NFTs, being able to trade it, all that good stuff. And I think Elixir ovals are still a good play. They did go down a little bit. Of course, Soul ripped up. Everything's going to go down pretty much. But one to watch. If we keep introducing these good mechanics, I think this is always something to watch. I only have 3 ovals. Full disclosure, just so you guys know. I will look to add more on the dip. Let's talk about some of the mints that we have today. So we do have GigaDAO mint today. Pirate Squad just minted. Pirate Squad has done pretty well, actually. I think they're at like 6 point something soul. I have no idea what they do. Does anybody here have any idea what Pirate Squad does?
I briefly heard of them, but I don't remember exactly what they do. I can look them up real quick.
Casino rev share, but it's going to
There you
be
go.
a peer-to-peer casino, which is I don't know. Peer-to-peer casinos are different, and we will see how that paradigm plays out on
Look, the
Web3
fact that it's a
platforms.
casino, dog, Immortals ripped up to 30. I ain't gonna fade Pirates. That's all I got to
Oh
say.
Yeah.
bro. You know what it is, dude. All you
Uh-huh.
have to look out for, guys, in any of these pre-sale allocation plays, look for your biggest vested period, your shortest vested period, and get out before then, just like any ICO. You want to get out because they will melt the price up into that ICO release of vesting, and then you're getting dumped on. So they'll make it look bullish, make it look all out great. So just make sure you guys are ready for that. Maybe keep one in the bag if you get the dual bot rise, and it is what it is. They're doing it well, but I would look for that price target to get out on before vesting unlocks.
Yeah. Do we know anything about their pre-sale or anything? They're actually down today. They're down to 5.5. They did run up to like almost 8 SOL, I think.
Pirates?
Yeah, Pirate Squad.
Yeah,
But
huge pre-sale to Enigma and Boogles, like almost, I think, 10 to 20 spots a person. Like they had a very big allocation.
Yeah, Boogles tend to get surprisingly a massive allocation for a lot of pre-sale allocations for a lot of collections. I'm sure individuals who have been working on pre-sale recently understand that.
Yep, I do. But the nice thing is, I don't know if it was per person. Like we didn't guarantee everybody in Boogles got a spot. It was a certain allocation. There was a max number you can mint. And then, if you didn't get it, tough luck. You should have kept your notifications on. So, yeah, we don't really, you got to keep your notifications on for that. But these actually look pretty good. I wish the NFT itself was bigger because I think the art's actually pretty cool. But other than that, I mean, it's the narrative around it, right? And we keep going after these. And guys, I want you to listen to me. Look me in the eyes. There is no rev share out there that is sustainable enough to last more than your Excel spreadsheet that you are crafting to make it. It's not going to work. All right. You are not going to get rich over the next 3 years. It may last a month 99% of the times. Right. And I think the only one that I would say is sustainable right now is dual bots, which I
DJ
hated.
Coin Flip, dog.
Yeah. DJ and Fat Cats and DJ and Coin Flip for sure. They standed the test of time. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, I don't really know any project that can sustain its rev share. It is the narrative of rev share that drives the price up, and the real alpha is selling when that price drives up. So just know when you actually have the rev share, it is the narrative around it. When that narrative feels like it is just overwhelming, bullish, all that good stuff, that's a good time to sell. Just my 2 cents. Rev share is not sustainable, especially in a highly volatile market like NFTs. And the more gambling meta that comes out, the more people that are going to spend time on different sites. And in the end, like, I don't know how most of these are going to beat out something like Sol Casino that's coming out. I think that's a banger. Rollbit is out there. You don't need an NFT to play with that. That site is filthy. I'm never touching it again. I loaded up $100 and lost that stuff quick, man. I lost that quick. I'm out. I'm not doing it anymore. But it was fun. It was really fun. It was very degen. Outside of that, I just don't know how some of these plays are going to even rival some of these sites. So just know that GigaDAO is another one. I kind of want to kick it over to Joe because I think Joe has more information on GigaDAO. They're going to be a DEX, right? That is going to, they're basically fragmenting NFTs. They're going to be a DEX. You can trade the fragments of NFTs and kind of like a marginal thing, so you're not trading a full NFT. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm seeing ceiling where Elixir almost was 12, 15 SOL maybe before they ripped up, possibly just from the same thought process maybe. But yeah, vesting for them is heavy too within a month. So we will see what plays out there with release and reveal.
Yep. That's another one that unless you got in from the ground floor up, I'm not touching right now. These loot boxes from GigaDAO are going for 51 SOL. 51. So they ran up from 8 SOL too. They were dirt cheap early December. So if you missed that, don't feel bad. I missed it too. We're going to miss some plays. That's just what happens. Dor, do you have any thoughts on GigaDAO in general?
Yeah, it's interesting. There's obviously a lot of hype behind it, but I wonder how they'll be able to compete against Elixir, because if I'm not mistaken, Elixir is doing something very similar with fragmentalization of NFTs. And one of the biggest drivers to GigaDAO is rev share. And I think that's another thing why people are so pumped about it. But once again, with rev share, if nobody utilizes your platform, you're not getting shared anything. We saw they have previews videos that I looked at. I mean, it's pretty simple, but it's nothing too crazy. while trading fractionalized NFTs are fine, my thing is like, are you just better off trading, an NFT, especially if it's high volume? Why are you trading fractionized parts of it? If it's a DeGod potentially, but most things aren't DeGods. Most things are new mints with high volume on it. So why don't you just trade those NFTs, realize the full profit of floor price movements, vice freaking points of soul? Like it just doesn't make a lot of sense in my opinion.
Yep.
So, and interject real quick because I was wrong. I want to make sure. So they're actually a DEX as well, providing spot trading, margin trading, leverage trading, also turning NFTs into tokens. So that's what they're doing as well. So it's a full-on DEX, which I didn't realize. I thought it was just based for NFTs, and they're going to be doing staking as well for an IDO in late 2023. So I guess they have, and the rev share. So they're kind of hitting all the buzzwords, which is very hard to keep up in the long term. So,
and you know how I would play that, Joe, is I would sell off those buzzwords and then buy back in once those buzzwords kind of die down. But those are really interesting buzzwords, and if they can actually deliver on those buzzwords, then great. But until then, you sell the narrative and then you buy back in when they actually deliver. That's how I would play it personally. Since I missed out on the mint or under 8 SOL for the loot boxes, I'm not trying to play this. I think there's so many mints coming out, so many mints, guys, that are coming out in February. We talked about it last show, that you will have your pick and choose of which ones you want to chase. And right now, this market, we'll see. You want to save your liquidity right now. That's all I will say, is make sure that you are spending your liquidity on the right mints and chasing it at a good entry price, not, when it's pumped 800% or something like that, right? That would be my 2 cents on it. Any final thoughts on GigaDAO before we go into Blocksmith Labs announcement?
Nothing else on GigaDAO. I'm happy to see how it does long term. I had a whitelist for it, like minted, sold it for like 3x. I don't really mess around with mints. So if I can take some quick liquidity, I'll take it. Ain't going to be no issue in my book. But yeah, I'm interested to see how everything turns out.
Yep, absolutely. Let's talk about Blocksmith Labs. I am laughing because Lou and I were talking about it on No Fluff, I think earlier this week even. And we were basically saying like, charts we like. And Lou brought up, he goes, I actually kind of like Blocksmith Labs. I was like, it's really funny you say that because I also like the Smith chart. I think they can come down a little bit more, which they have now. I think the last time I checked, let's see, they were at like 70 something. I think that's a decent price. I'm waiting for confirmation. I think you should always wait for confirmation. I'm not trying to catch a knife, y'all. I'm trying to buy into strength when it actually confirms reversal. But this is a really interesting level for me. If I'm looking on the daily, I really like this like 74.8 range, 75-ish, which we're almost there. So with Blocksmith Labs, they did announce in April 2023, they're coming out with Beast. So Beast is going to be their more affordable entry into the Blocksmith Labs ecosystem. And there's a few cool mechanics with it. Just to give you a little lowdown on it, Beast will serve as an extension of the Smith story and provide an entry into the Blocksmith Labs ecosystem. There's a surprise you will not see coming. Love some good weaponized anticipation, but there's some really cool minting mechanics, as you would expect from Blocksmith Labs, who has Mercury, who has Bifrost, and has launched some decent projects. We do like the Fruits when they had their run-up. We like Sentries when they had their run-up. Sentries actually got called on Wise Whales. I don't know if you guys saw that, if you guys have Wise Whales, but maybe a play to look at. They're pretty cheap right now, and I know there's a lot of good sentiment behind them. Nonetheless, they're going to be, each Ascended Smith will be eligible to receive a Beast. So if you do have a Blocksmith, make sure you are ascending it so you can get this Beast. Unique reveal mechanism in Forge does sound a little bit like pilots to me. With the scrap call, they're trying to burn some scrap before they transfer to graphite, whatever. X spots for redacted. Another good little weaponized anticipation. They're really nailing it. And around 1,000 whitelist spots will be distributed via Beast Board. So the Beast Board's cool. It does sound kind of like how Utes allocated their spots to different DAOs based on how much dust you contributed. If you guys remember that, I know that was forever ago. And that was like 9 months ago now. That is wild to think of. But Yeah, projects communities can get an entry onto the leaderboard for a fixed one-time fee of Forge. And then basically the community votes on these DAOs, which I think is a very interesting mechanic. It's different from the dust, just give us a bag of dust. And then you're like, oh man, I'm going to get like 200 whitelist spots. And then all of a sudden somebody else comes in with a greater portion and your whitelist spots dwindle. And then you look at the dust cost and you're like, why did I spend so much? This is more of a social sentiment. I actually like this. Guys, what do we think about Beast and Blocksmith Labs? Let's go with Joe first and then Door.
Hey guys, sorry my mic was muted. Yeah, so no, Blocksmith Labs, they have a legit team of devs. They are a serious squad. They've done it right. They stabled over at the right time. They have the runway. Mercury's kind of getting outshined by Subber at the moment, which is okay because that doesn't mean they still have a strong platform. They just a little bit marketing, I think, on that end. But listen, at this point in time, for the holders, at this point, they've held for over a year. Most of them withheld a 70 SOL floor. And I think you're repaying them back, right? I don't look them extracting stuff out of the ecosystem with this. I do look like they're going to take that money, put it back into their project for their holders and build. I don't think that BSL are extractors. I definitely think that they're adding to this space. So yeah, I'm excited for them. I probably won't hop into this just because the risk to reward ratio is super high. I mean, what, 70 SOL whitelist allocation, it's very, very much high for me, but I'm excited to see what they do here for sure. They're innovative and their tech is great. So I'm excited to see how they bring this into the ecosystem.
Yeah. Okay. Good take, Joe. Door, what do we think about this?
Yeah, man. I'm like, it just fits in my thesis of like support projects. Like you want to get in these secondary projects from good projects. Anytime a top tier project releases something else, it's likely to do well. So if Blocksmith Labs right now sitting around 77 floor price, Beast may potentially go up to around 38. So if you can get a I personally am not going to buy a BSL to get into the ecosystem for the whitelist. But I think if you're able to maintain one or buy somewhere under that 10 SOL mark or something, you're probably going to print off of this. So I'm definitely looking forward to see what they're doing. Blocksmith has been around for a while now. They really set the standard for like whitelist management tools, minting platforms in the ecosystem. And I'm pretty bullish on them for the future, dog. We've been around long enough to watch these things run up from 8 SOL all the way to like breaking 100, 150. So it was pretty nuts. So still bullish on them as always.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Dor. I do believe in investing in good people. And if that wasn't enough for you, Anatoly has pretty much come out and said that Blocksmith Labs are the best builders in Solana, which, Fade, one of the co-founders of Solana, not going to make it. I do think this is a viable entry into it. I'm still, again, everything's in a downtrend right now in NFTs. I'm not trying to catch any knives, but I'm interested. I want one bad. I think you're right, Dor. I think the play would be to wait until after Beast, and maybe I can get some DAO spots on the Beast board or whatever that looks like. But one of the reasons, and Joe hit on it, is that Subber has outshined Mercury right now. And I think that is just a byproduct of maybe Mercury's too high priced for some of these projects. Maybe Subber is a better price. Maybe Mercury reallocates. I enjoy Mercury much better than Subber. I'm going to say that right now. Mercury is just way better, in my opinion, of a whitelist management tool.
So as somebody who's working and trying to figure out which whitelist management tools they're going to use, allocation has a lot to do with the dog. You're like giving a portion of your supply to just to use somebody's tool when you can either pay per transaction. It's like, why am I just going to pay for the transaction instead of giving away my supply? So from somebody who's actively looking for one now, that's a lot of the reason to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to choose from these days, right? It is Mercury, it is Subber, it is Gib, it is also, you can do HelioPay too for pre-sale. I mean, there's just a lot of options, which we always saw coming. It was a really good business model, and there's always going to be competition that comes into the Web3 space. I think they do have to either reevaluate cost or just add in something that's so groundbreaking into Mercury that just makes it much easier. But I've used all the whitelist tools. I don't like Subber that much. I like Gib. I like Mercury. HelioPay is great because you don't have to worry if you have the USDC or in there or whatnot. I actually say Subber is probably my least favorite, but that's just me. And I know everybody has their preferences. And like Dor said, at the end of the day, it's the cost of the project, right? How much supply they're asking for, how much the cost is, how much the transaction is, whatever it looks like. So one to keep an eye on. I am looking at Beast. That'll be a fun thing to trade. So I'm definitely, I think April will be a good time frame for NFTs. We'll see how the market plays out, but you can never really time this stuff. And now that they've already given a date, they better hope the market looks better for NFTs by then. Guys, I think that covers all the headlines we wanted to talk about. Is there any other headlines you want to talk about before we get into alpha?
No, you covered it, B.
Sweet. Now we get to talk about the fun part. Let's get into the alpha corner, as we usually do at the end of our solo shows without an interview, and talk about what we're looking at in the market. Again, dog. Anyways, again, I'm not really buying too many NFTs right now. Let's kick it over to you, Dor. What are you looking at right now?
Yeah, man, I still got my eye on Claynosaurus, dude. I'm still like deciding on if I'm going to default on my loan. Sorry, whoever issued that out, but that's the way the game works. To default on my loan or not, or just pick them up lower right now. And I'm still looking at picking up lower because I'm unsure what Sol's going to do. So I still think that might be the play for me. But also one of the pieces of alpha is just like pick up a Cyber Samurai, man. It'll pay, not financial advice, but it'll pay for itself. And for those who don't know, I am the chief operations officer. So take that for what you want. But even as Bison was saying, it's like you have Joe in there doing constant trading with tokens. And you got Shake in there. Bison's in there all the time. It's like there's such a good group. Like Easy was in the chat giving Bodego's whitelist away a couple weeks ago. So I just think it's a great group of people to be around in a bear market. And also, if you really want to learn the ecosystem, make money back quickly, you'll cover your cost basis in no time. Right now in Cyber Samurai is like at 5 SOL. Our collection has massive volatility. We'll run up double digits and then pull back. Like it's just the way it is. We also got an airdrop coming. If we ever have an in-person meeting, Shake's going to buy everybody food and drinks and give you merch. So I just think if you want to be a part of a great community where you'll have a great time in the space, that's it. So right now, Claynosaurus and of course Cyber Samurai. UGS as well, dude. We got Core that's coming really soon. I think they said in the next couple weeks of February. So super excited for Core. But yeah, man, I was also say there's a lot of Bison mentioned it on the last episode. It just feels like there's a water hose of mints coming out. But unlike the past, it's a water hose of like quality mints. Like a lot of good mints are coming. And if you're able to get whitelist for these, I think you'll print. So keep an eye out for that. Specifically the heist. Just gonna throw that out there.
Oh, I don't need any more hype right now. We
Yo,
haven't come out with
I got 12 pre-sale spots so far.
Oh my gosh. That's an absurd amount, first off. Second off, yeah, we'll talk more about the heist when we're ready to. I promise you guys it'll come on this show. So make sure you are subscribed right there. Yeah, you click that little button down there. That'd be cool. And Joe, I want to talk to you about what you're looking at in the market because I know you're like me right now. Don't really look at NFTs. Don't really look at buying NFTs right now until we get to a certain point. What point are you looking at that you would be like, okay, I think right now I'm looking to start buying NFTs?
Yeah, that's a great point. I did trickle in a couple buys in Elixir, Clayno, and Shark just because I was like looking at it like a swing position. Like I want to take the 10% bite here. I'll take another 10% bite lower, another 20% if we go. So my thought process is BTC right now completely. Like I said before, 25 and 5 and up. I think NFTs will do well. I think alts will run. I think will range, and I think people will feel good about going back into NFTs. We've breaking a kind of a midpoint in people's psychology, especially if we get up past 26 SOL, $26, $27. But for me, I'm just waiting for volatility right now to end with loans. To be honest with you, the default nature of the loans that are out right now, waiting for them to kind of equal out. And then we'll see what the AMMs are telling us for floor prices. So I'm kind of looking from the trickle down effect from BTC to loans to floor prices is what I'm kind of watching at the moment.
Yep. And, while we have been on this podcast, Sol has dumped another $1. We are back at $25, like on the dot. I need this to stop, y'all. This is,
Holy cow,
I actually love it
wow.
because you can just, scalp, you can set a range and basically set it and forget it because that's what it's doing at this point. It cannot cross and hold above this 25, 79, 26-ish range at all. It literally it can't do it. I'm convinced. So if this sort of range keeps happening, I'm fine. But I don't need these candles that are like 3 or 4% per day per hourly candle. I mean, that's what's killing us right now. So I'm right there with you, Joe. I think I'm waiting for Chop to end before I really get involved in NFTs right now. The only things I'm looking for are whitelist spots, pre-sale. I think mints are going to cook just because you're getting in at a really good entry point. There are some secondary plays, but right now there's just so many good mints coming up that I think if you can get pre-sale spots, if you can get whitelist spots for some of these, they will pay themselves back and then some. And I think you're getting in at a really good entry price. Some of these, like I wish I got into dual bots at 16, right? You know, like I wish that was a thing, or 20 or 25 or 40. I didn't. I really want a dual bot right now, but I just don't know about the price. And I know they're coming out with really cool games and stuff. And the gambling meta is hot, right? The gaming meta is hot. And I would love to get a dual bot. I just don't know about the price. And that is a lot of risk because, you know, it doesn't matter how good their product is. If their systematic risk of SOL just being so volatile continues to be persistent, it doesn't matter the project. Almost all of them are down across the board. So I don't know. If I'm looking at NFTs right now, I'm just watching charts, y'all. I am literally just watching charts. That's all I'm doing. I'm scoping out good entries, but everything keeps bleeding. Tayo Pilots is down to 16. Lily's down to 6.5. You know, some of the stuff, I mean, Pirate Squad that just ran up down 5.7 today to 5.7 today. All of these collections are just bleeding. And so until the bleeding stops, I'm not going to be the one that's like trying to call the bottom on NFTs because I don't know. It really just depends on what Solana is going to do. Like I said, I would love to see a break and hold of 26. We have not been able to do that. And until then, I really think volatility is we're just going to chop in a very volatile action until we get above that floor. It's going to be a liquidation battle of bulls, of bears until we get above 26. That's all I'm looking for. Right now, that's all I'm looking for. Once we get there, then I can reevaluate, see, okay, what prices have bled for a long time that I can buy into. You know, maybe it is another Iron Paw Gang spot because those are closing in on 50 right now for Voxel Monkeys. Not Voxel Monkeys. Gosh, I wish a Voxel Monkey was 50.
I know, right?
But a supply chain Voxel bot, right? I wish if they go below 50, I think that is a buy. Those do hold their value much better than some of these other stuff. Right now, the only NFT I'm playing, Nokia Mon. That's it. Right now, I'm just minting every single edition I see. I'm just click, 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 click. And I probably click about 4 times before I stop at least. I usually try to get about 4 of them. So that's all I'm doing right now. I don't really have a whole lot of NFT alpha. Right now, I would say the best thing to look at are coins. Some of these coins are absolutely ripping. They're way more liquid. And if you don't like the position or you want to use that liquid somewhere else, one button to click and you are sold at a very competitive price too. You don't have to worry about instant sale like you do with NFTs. And then you go into Solana and then you have to worry about the price of Solana. Then you have to stable out or you don't, and whatever you want to do. With coins, it's very easy. You pair them against USDT. You can leverage trade if you want to. Not financial advice. Not everybody is built to leverage trade. But a lot of these coins are swinging. I mean, dude, Optimism ran 10% yesterday. Phantom is on a tear today, 8.67%. Like if you aren't looking at altcoins because you're tribalistic and looking at NFTs and everything like that, I think you're doing yourself a disservice because you start looking at this ecosystem in a different way. You look at Bitcoin's price action, you start looking at the S&P and what it's doing, the dollar index. And when you start seeing how these things interact with each other and then how it affects the price of SOL and then how it affects the price of NFTs, that's when you become that excellent trader like Joe is right over there.
Yeah, well said, Bison. And that's, once again, why I said pick up a Cyber Samurai, because if you want to hang out with Bison and Joe and Shake and talk about all these, like you guys are in Discord all day, essentially. I know Joe is like all night. I know Shake's in there and all you guys in what? NSTR, I think that he's a youth holder or whatever. He's in there as well. And like, if you guys want to print on trading, that's the place to be. I don't know of anywhere else like that you can pay $100 for an NFT that will constantly give you value to have access to this type of information to some other like scrub call groups that you could get into for 10x for the price of that. So yeah.
Yeah. Dude, Dojo VC been eating. The only NFTs that we have been looking at are Kanto NFTs. And we can talk about that if you really want alpha. Right now, it's just like buy everything on Kanto. And dude, some of those collections have been absolutely farming volume. Dude, they have like, I looked at some of them the other day. They have like $400,000 volume.
That's
That
crazy,
that
dog.
that is insane, dude.
That's crazy.
What? Kanto is ripping itself. And like, it just makes no sense to me. I don't get it. But you know what? If you got in early on
Mhm.
Kanto NFTs, good for you. I think it's another Aptos NFT situation. So
Yes.
proceed with caution, get in, get out. But you can flip over there. I think this is the time to be putting your ear to the ground and checking out other ecosystems, whether it's DeFi, whether it's other NFT ecosystems, whether it's another coin or scalping or swing trading or anything like that. But Solana NFTs, until the bleeding stops, I have no interest in them. Point blank, period.
No, well said, dog. And like that's why I'm reevaluating in my position in Claynosaurs. And like, I don't know right now, dog. I'm like, maybe I should just like wait a little bit. Like you said, is like there's so much unknown with what Sol's doing. I just think it's too risky to be buying anything other than Cyber Samurai. That's a safe bet. One will not hurt you, I promise.
Yep. And they're so cheap right now too, dude.
Yep.
Everything's run down so much that Cyber Samurai are like 4 something SOL, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 SOL. I can't remember. The last time I checked on them. Yep. They're right over 5 SOL right now. To me, I think everybody should own one Samurai. Not financial advice, but we do give really good advice in that channel. So if you want to learn how to survive a bear market or I don't even know what to call it market, we are ripping up, but maybe like an NFT bear market if we want to call it that.
NFT bear, mini bull on the crypto side. I don't know what's going on.
Yep. We don't have an NFT. Basically, we are Cyber Samurai. That's it. We do run various projects. Heist will be coming soon. Very excited to get into it when I can. But right now, not the time. I'm not going to talk about it. Guys, any other alpha? Joe, do you have anything else for us? Great trader, because I will buy anything you tell me to buy right now.
No, not looking for anything to buy right now. Honestly, looking for BTC to visit range lows, 23K, and see what happens there. That's what my eyes are on right now. Intraday trading shit tokens, and I would love a big bounce at 23K to grab some longs on some alts that will reverse quickly as well. So that's what I'm looking for today, is just, in and out of these tokens, man, and hopefully we'll see some bombs happen on NFTs here, and I'm feeling pretty confident that some of these blue chips are coming to buy points. So that's what I'm excited for right now.
Yep. I'm right there with you. They will definitely be coming to buy points once core comes and people can actually use that tool in order to do so. We actually did get invited into the core alpha. Very excited for that. Thank you, Jake, for thinking of us, and what a great episode that was. We will give you guys our thoughts whenever we do go through core alpha, give you guys a little rundown on it. Jake gave a really thoughtful analysis on it when he was on our show. If you missed that episode, go ahead and check that out. Guys, anything else we want to cover before we wrap up this show?
No, you guys are awesome. Love hosting with you every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. EST. It's a great time. We want to shout out to the entire audience for joining us today. I like out of all the shows you could be watching or the spaces you could be listening to, you all take time to be here with us, and I can't say how much we appreciate that.
Yeah, and seriously, thank you guys so much for joining on YouTube, where we get to chat with you guys. Seriously, awesome. Love doing it. Please make sure you subscribe down below. It does help grow the channel, so we can reach more people, talk a little bit more, and, actually make a living off of this, because right now we're just doing it for free. We're doing everything for free. We're giving you guys the alpha. The only money we make is on our calls. So yeah, any sponsors out there that want to sponsor the show, we'd love to talk to you. But other than that, guys, always a pleasure talking with you guys, talking about the market, talking about what's up with NFTs and why they are capitulating while Sol is absolutely ripping and then ripping back down and doing its thing. Everything else, please make sure you check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We do stream every Tuesday, Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, like Dor said. And we'll see you on the next episode of RareFUD Radio. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Have a good one.